Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Matt, and I'm actually close to finishing up the outside mod reviews in this series. So I'm going to tackle the last bit of the outside of the Jeep, and then I think my next video will be the things that I've done inside. So let's jump into it today. I think we're going to cover some bumper mods that I did. The got to show my license plate because I got to rep my team, and a few other odds and ends. So let's jump right into it. Thanks again for visiting. Check it out. All right guys, I had to do it. I had to do it. So living in Wisconsin all my life, diehard Packer fan, and I had to go personalized. So here we go, Gladiator, using the G, obviously from my squad, and just like how it turned out. Obviously Gladiator, there's other ways to spell that, but I went with this, and it actually has a pretty cool other meaning, but I'm not going to cover that right now. So again, I still have the stock bumper on my Sport S, but there is one thing different. Let me actually grab something. This is, as you know, on the Sport S bumper, or actually the Sport bumper itself, it comes like that from the factory, and just for symmetrical purposes only, I had to make it match. So the Sport obviously has just the one tow hook in the back, just on that side, and then this piece would be on the right. I actually went ahead and ordered another tow hook, and then just this bezel right here. I'll be honest, this was probably the most difficult mod I've done so far in the Jeep. Taking the bumper off itself is very straightforward. There's a couple electrical things to unplug underneath here, obviously for the light that lights up the license plate, these guys, and then the plug in here for trailers. There's a wiring harness in the back for that. So yeah, so really easy. There's 2 bolts behind the plate, so you take the plate off, get at these bolts, take those off, and then the whole bumper comes off. Pretty straightforward. That was the easy part. The hard part was actually when you have this thing off, there is so many clips. There are, like, I swear, a million clips to actually get at this bezel to get this removed. It took probably 45 minutes just to get that thing off. My dad came over and we were hanging out, and he was helping me do it, but just then keeping track of all the clips and the screws and all that was a pain. But we got it off, and once I got it off and put in the new bezel piece, then it was really easy. I just screwed everything back together, and then obviously with the bumper still off, I mounted the tow hook that I got, this Mopar matching the factory one. Got that on. It bolts with actually 2 bolts, and torqued those down, and then just threw the bumper back on and plugged in the wiring and then a couple of the bolts and threw it back together. So that was pretty straightforward, and I actually, once I got it, I was very pleased as to how it turned out. It had to match. Like, it just wasn't very symmetrical, and I wanted that all to match. So that's what I did, and it actually turned out really well. So let me move to the front, and I'll show you a couple of other things I did to the body, the outside. Thanks. All right guys, back. Move to the front of the Jeep, and let's go over like I said, the last odds and ends that I did to the outside of the Jeep. Let me flip you around and show you. So obviously the antenna was upgraded. I hate that super tall, like 8-foot factory whipper that comes with the Jeep. We had to get a a stubby one. I actually got an even smaller one, but I was having issues with like local AM stations. And yeah, I listen to AM because of local like sports talk radio. You gotta have that. So yeah, I actually called the company, and they I explained it. I just said I love it, but it's too small, and I would like to try their, I think this one's 13 inches, and I'll post links to the item that I bought too. But they were a great company. I can't think of the name right now because this mod was done a while back, but it's still a little rough with some of the stations locally, but it's again way better, matches the blackout look, and I had to replace that thing. All right guys, the last mod that I need to cover is kind of like a hybrid, right? So it's outside and inside a little bit. So I had a 2018 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk that I loved. I had that before this. Little history that I guess I haven't said yet, but I had a 2010 Wrangler that I loved it, and I miss it. And when I thought about changing back to a Wrangler, obviously a JL, I actually, obviously the Gladiator had just come out, and I'm like, wait a second, I can get that kind of Wrangler feel again, but with a truck. I had never owned a pickup before, and I'm so glad I went with this vehicle. Best of both worlds, and just loving it. So anyway, back in my Cherokee, I had the passive entry. So, you know, you just kind of walk up to your door handle, and you heard that? It just auto unlocks as long as you have the keys nearby. I missed that feature so much. My Cherokee had it, and I knew that you can get it on these, and I actually ordered the parts, did this all myself as well. Obviously you can hit the button for the lock, and it confirms that. Install was pretty straightforward. The kit comes with obviously the new replacement handle and these end caps, obviously with the button, and then there's a wiring harness that you just got to swap out. You take this panel out, and there's just kind of, there's a couple screws here, one behind here, and then there's a few on the bottom, and then it just kind of pops off. And it's funny, when I actually did this mod, it was cold. It was like, or snow everywhere yet here in Wisconsin. So obviously with a Jeep, what can you do? So you can take the door off, right? And that's what I did. Took the door off and brought it right into my house. Obviously a lot warmer there, and it was easier to work on. And all you do is, there's just like wiring that obviously hits your power door locks here and kind of winds itself around, and right about in here, there in the new wiring, there's a T where it splits off, and that wire actually plugs to the back, actually would be back here, to the handle itself, so it can talk to the power locking mechanism. And then the wiring harness just is fed through this, which you just had to swap out. The parts come with the new wiring all built in. And then you pop this off as if you're taking the doors off, and plug it into the harness that it's connected within, behind this panel. It wasn't too bad. Like, the first one took a little longer, but the second door was actually pretty straightforward, and I'm so glad. It's probably one of my favorite mods. I love how this feature is back now. There was just so many times where, like, you're coming out from, you know, going to the grocery store, let's say, and you just want to lean over and hold the handle and unlock the doors, and you can throw your groceries away. But instead of having to dig for the key and having to do it that way. But I love this mod. I think this covers the rest of the outside of the Jeep, and again, this is something that you can tackle. I'll throw some links on this too with the part numbers, and if you have any questions. At the time when I did it, there wasn't very many. I think there was one YouTube video on how to install this, but I think there's a couple more now. If you need some questions answered, please post them in the comments and I can get back to you on that. It was pretty straightforward, and so glad I did that mod. So again, I think that's the end of this one. I know we touched on a couple kind of odds and ends that I've done to the outside of the Gladiator, and that's that. So another mod review video is complete. I think the next ones that I do, I will tackle the inside of the Jeep and all the things that I did there. But for now, again, like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel and visit back. I'm loving this YouTube journey, and I'm hoping to kind of get more videos out there and getting some likes on them and just see where this goes. If anything, it's just, again, a passion of mine, and like to video that and show it off a little bit to the world, and maybe answer some questions to those that were looking to do the same kind of mods on their Jeep. Thanks again for visiting. Like, subscribe, and visit the channel. Hit that bell so you'll get alerts when there's new content put up. Thanks again, and enjoy your days, guys. Thanks for visiting. Bye.